Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, I've never done a preview in a stream format, so this is the first time I'm doing a preview in a stream format, so I'm planning to just do my preview. I will ignore chat for the most part, so hello Wim, big up to everyone in chat. What I'll do is, I'll start off, I'll talk to chat a bit, depending on how active chat is. Then I will move on to my preview. And then at the end I'll come back to chat, so that's how I'll do it. So I will come back to chat when I'm done, but I like to keep structure here to this preview, since it's a new type of thing I'm doing. So if you're putting stuff in chat, I will read it, but only once I'm like done with my preview. So big up to everyone who's in here, I suppose. And let's get started, I suppose. I'm not sure if people are gonna like this, to be honest. Normally I do my previews in video format, so not sure if people will like me doing it in a stream, but that's what I'm gonna experiment with for at least a few times, I think. At least a few times I'll experiment with that. So, we have to win the FA Cup. That's where I'll start off here. Before I even talk about this game, we have to win the FA Cup. There's no choice between FA Cup or top 5. That's the thing that a lot of people are doing right now, isn't it? Would you rather have the FA Cup or top 5? There is no choice. It's both. Bare minimum is both. And here is why, yeah. Because people will say, oh, you expect to win a trophy every season. No. But it is a bare minimum every season. Every season you have to achieve a bare minimum. And you know what that bare minimum is? It's showing that you are still in some capacity ready for next season. That with a single summer, next season you can be decent again. And that is what I expect here. So you can go trophyless once in a while. Sure, every club will go trophyless at some point. But look at the context, right? You have to look at the context. When you go trophyless, there has to be a valid reason why. And you still have to show, when you go trophyless, that next season will be better. And you can't do that by putting in horrid, absolutely horrid performances. So, let's say like this. Let's take an example here. So, let's say you go trophyless, but you get to the semi-final of the Champions League. Semi-final of Champions League, let's say you get to the final of the Carabao Cup. You do decent in FA Cup, you go to maybe quarter-final. And, or maybe you even get the final in both, like, depends. Like, not that big of a deal, right? But semi-final in Champions League, a final in a domestic tournament somewhere, and you finish within 9 points of the league leader. So you finish within 9 points of the champion. Okay, you go trophyless this season, but you win, like, you're going pretty far in all competitions, right? So that is acceptable, assuming that the season before that you at least won something. So that is more acceptable. But this season is not like that. This season is very different. We didn't get to the round of 16 in the Champions League. Forget quarter or semi-final, we didn't get to the round of 16. We failed to get anywhere in the Carabao Cup. We went out at the first time of asking, against a garbage, by the way. A garbage Tottenham team. That Tottenham team was... That is the worst Tottenham team I have seen in all my life. Just blatantly, that's how bad it is. So, we didn't even go out against a good side. We've shown inability to manage out games. We've dropped a lot of points in games where we are winning. Take PSG, Real Madrid. Like, these are games where we are winning until late. Or even Arsenal. We were never winning, but until quite late into that game, I believe after the 70 minutes... we were 1-1, or was it 60 minutes, I forget, and we absolutely crumbled. We cannot manage out games. Take Brentford, we were winning 2-0, we collapse, it ends up being 2-2. So there's a lot of games that we have failed to manage this season. So when I say that top 5 and FA Cup has to be bare minimum, I'm not saying you have to win a trophy every season. But what I'm saying yet this season is, we are struggling to get top 5, despite the fact that the rest of the league has been garbage. Like, this season everyone has been bad. Liverpool didn't get better or worse than last season. They're about the same as they were last season. But you know what's different? the rest of the league is worse. The rest of the league has incredibly fallen off. And in this league that fell off, we are nowhere near. We are barely top 5. We are only in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup because we got a lucky draw against second and third division teams, who, by the way, we struggled against Leyton Orient, who is second or third division. Again, correct me if I'm mistaken. Leyton Orient. I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't really show any good signs for the future. So, again, coming back to what I said at the start of the stream here, when you are talking here about bare minimum, what you have to do for a club like Man City, a big club, is you have to show that next season you will be there again. How do you show that after the disaster that this season has been? It's by getting top 5, getting a bit of a run of form at the end of the season, and winning a trophy. If you just win the trophy, but you can't get top 5, in this league that is garbage, well, that just shows that you got a lucky run into the cup and you won it. It's a fluke. It's useless. It doesn't tell you anything about next season. If you get top 5, but you can't get an FA Cup over the line, it shows, okay, you can win some games at the end of the season, but you can't get a trophy over the line, so why should I believe that next season will be better? Again, you can go trophyless some seasons, but this season has been this bad that you need both a trophy and top 5. I think you always need top 4. Forget top 5, I think you always need top 4 as Man City to instill some confidence. We need both to really instill confidence for next season. If you actually look at the context of how bad this season is, that is the only way I will have some confidence in this side going into next season. So with all of that set, I have been consistent in saying that we will win against Bournemouth. The reason being that Bournemouth is not in form right now, by the way. We have not had any good form all season, except at the start, but Bournemouth is also not really in form. And Bournemouth are lacking some players too. Now you can say that's problematic, yada yada. Like, your glass is half empty and mine is half full. But you know what the thing is, yeah? At the start of the season, or maybe not at the start of the season, but like the midway point when we lost to Bournemouth at the Vitality, it was the same really. Our glass was half empty, but their glass was maybe a bit more full, if you get what I'm saying. They had less injuries to contest with and stuff like that. Not an excuse, but just saying factually. So I think right now we both are lacking some players. So it's more like we are both a glass half empty. Rather at the time we played each other, we were a glass half empty and they were a bit more full. So the reason I'm saying that is because I think now that we're playing against each other again, we are a bit better. We are ahead of them in the league, only 4 points, but we are ahead of them. And we have been worse this season. We have improved throughout the season, I think. So I think you can't say that Man City will lose definitely because we lost before. I think Man City can win. That's the asterisk on top. I think we can win all our games, to be honest, to the end of the season. The problem is we don't know what Man City will turn up. This is an important game for the players. A lot of these players, they want to leave with a trophy. This is the last season at Man City for a lot of these players. They want to leave with a trophy. Some players who have been uninspired this season. I do believe that the FA Cup can be the game where they find that an inspiration. Quarter final and the FA Cup. Going to Wembley, maybe last time in your career to go to Wembley. Think about that. For John Stone, this could be his last time going to Wembley. Don't just brush it off, think about it. Really, just pause and think about it. For a player like John Stone, that is something big. Now, I know John Stone is not fit for this game, but actually, is he? I don't know. We need to check injuries. But the reason I bring that up here is because the rest of the squad will want to play for John Stone. Grealish, if he plays, last time in Wembley. And I'm using English players here because, well, obviously, McAtee could potentially leave Man City. Last chance to play in Wembley. He's never played in Wembley before, at least he's never started. He might have gotten like a substitute appearance that I don't know of, but I don't believe he's ever played in Wembley before. So this is a last chance to get that. For some of the older players and for some of the younger players who will leave. Rico Lewis, this is a chance to get to Wembley, and there's been a lot of doubt about his position. Rico Lewis will be inspired for this game. Even foreign players like Bernardo Silva. I think this game, there will be more inspiration than in a random Premier League game when confidence was low. That is the only reason why I think we'll win this game. Now, with that said, I don't think we're winning the Premier League. I think in Premier League, I don't think we're winning the FA Cup, sorry, that's what I meant. I think in the FA Cup we will get knocked out by Aston Villa at some point. Either in the semis or the final. I think Aston Villa is winning the trophy. If we get Brighton, I think it's a coin toss. I think it's like maybe 45% chance to Man City, 55% chance to Brighton. Because we never know what Man City side turns up. But in this game, I think we'll win. So, with that said, let's actually look at the game here. Let me share my screen and let's look at the game. Before that, let's get into chat a bit. Hello, Rosa. I'm skipped ahead of you. My apologies. Hello, Rosa. How have you been? I was at school party. Oh, how was the school party? Beerschot got a red... Oh, are they playing right now? Is Beerschot playing right now? Let me look that up. Oh, yes, they're playing against Sint-Truiden. Relegation playoffs, isn't it? I've never watched a single game of the relegation playoffs, to be honest. I can't be bothered, you know. Cercle Bruges will be... I think Cercle Bruges... Maybe I should do a relegation playoff game this season. I've never watched one. I've never watched a relegation playoff game. Maybe I need to watch a Cercle Bruges game. We can do a hate-along to that. But nah, I think Cercle Bruges will survive relegation, if I'm being honest. Now, what I'm more worried about is championship round. I'm not sure if there's any championship games right now, so let's check the league. Let's check the league. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Anyhow, let's close that. Let's close that. Let's stay on topic here. RWDM winning a game, and Bayern München won 3-1. Dasil is not in here today. They are winning 3-1. I'm guessing he's watching that and doesn't know I'm live, because normally he's always in here, isn't he? Good school party, isn't it? What was party about? What was party about? Yeah, Bayern München is 6 points cleared, by the way, in Bundesliga. It's like a final year in school party or something like that. Is it like 100 dagen? Is it like a 100 dagen thing? When is 100 dagen? I'm not sure, but I guess it's something about that, right? Because you should be almost done with school, right? But yeah, let me share my screen here and let's talk about the actual game. And this will be the least interesting part, to be honest, in my opinion. Atletico Madrid is also winning 1-0. Who is Atletico playing against? Atletico Madrid. Oh, it's playing Espanyol, okay. Yeah, Atletico Madrid is not winning La Liga, I think. It's not happening. Right, so this game, by the way, if you're wondering about Bob and Etcheverry, I don't think either will play. Now, I would love for one of these two to play. Don't get me wrong. If Etcheverry would play, that would be great. But it's not happening. Same with Oscar Bob. Even if it's just off the bench, I would like to see one of these play. However, that is what I want. And what's actually gonna happen, put yourself in Pep's perspective. This is an FA Cup game. Pep Guardiola has a fetish for old players. And he's gonna rely on whatever is most comfortable to him. So Etcheverry, who's never played for him, and Oscar Bob, they're not gonna play. Bob is injured, not quite. Bob is back from injury, but he's just been bubble wrapped, and it's weird. It's weird. He should be back already, though. It's a very weird case. Something is going on with Oscar Bob there, whether it's just simple fate or the injury is worse than they thought. Whatever it is, something is wrong with Oscar Bob. But they should be playing him if he is fit, but they're not telling us. Like, as a club, Man City needs to tell us what is the case with Oscar Bob here. What is the plan with Etcheverry? Why is Etcheverry not on the bench yet? What is the plan? Tell us, what is the plan? But the club is not doing that, so... Again, if the club was telling us Echeverri will play in cup games, then I would say, oh right, Echeverri will come off the bench, but I don't know. These players, they might as well not be here. They might as well not be here. So, this is what I kind of expect to be the lineup for Man City. Obviously, I mean... is anyone going to argue with me that Erling Haaland will play? If so, get your noggins checked, mate. Savinho, I think, will play, because here's the thing. Their main left back is injured, or unavailable. I'm not sure if he's injured or suspended, but he's not available. So, Savinho on the right-hand side, very good at crossing, can take a man on. That looks like a likely source for goals. Now, I personally would prefer Doku on this right-hand side, to be honest. Where is Doku? I've got him somewhere in here. Right, Doku. Personally, I would prefer this, because Doku could cut inside, go here, try to get a cut back to Marmoush running onto it, or a ball into Haaland, and he's very effective on these right-hand areas. And then he could have Savinho on the left, or he could have Foden there, but we'll get into that later. Pep won't do that. Just blatantly, Pep will not do that. So, I think a lot of things that we'll talk about this game is just gonna be, well, but will Pep do that? And the answer to most of those will be, no. So, I would prefer Doku here on the right, just because I think Doku is a better right winger than he's a left winger. I don't think that's happening. And I think Savinho is better on the left wing, by the way. I would prefer this. Honestly, this is my best lineup. This is my best lineup. And you can even do this. This, honestly, where is Foden? I guess you would put Foden on the right. This is honestly not bad, if you ask me. Because we will try to hold on to the ball. And if we shift into a back three, yeah? Like, let's imagine this. Players up the pitch. We have Marmoush here and Foden here as double eights. Why do we have them as double eights? If the ball is over here... Why are there so many balls? Balls. Let's say the ball is over here. I'm not gonna bother dragging up the defense. With Savinho. Savinho cuts inside. You want a near post run and a far post run. Haaland is gonna be the far post run. Marmoush is gonna be the near post run. And Foden is gonna be in this area to pick up any balls. And then you have Gonzalez, of course. Lewis is gonna push up as well. And then you have a back three. That's theoretically right. So that should theoretically work. And then on the other side you have the opposite, right? On the other side you have... Actually, do you though? Let's say the ball is with Doku. Let's think about it. And let me explain why it's not the exact same. So, let's say the ball is with Doku here. Now, if the ball is with Doku, you just have Lewis overlap. Gusenov, defending these right channels on counter is better. Gvardiol is quick as well. You have Gonzalez here staying back for the transition as well. So, then you can cut inside a bit, cut balls back, have Foden make that near post run. But keep Marmoush here. Like, that's the thing. That is why you play a double eight. Keep Marmoush here when the ball is on the right. Because the problem we've had this season, yeah, is we have not put people in the box. But you can't put too many people in the box. Like, if you have a system like this, and Marmoush also goes into the box, now you lose the ball. This transition against Bournemouth, I'm sorry, you're getting cooked. You are getting deep fried cooked, is what's gonna happen. So, that is why I prefer a double eight. But that's not gonna happen. What I think is more likely, and I don't mind it by the way, is Foden on the left. I don't think Doku will play. I think it will be Savinho. Where is Savinho? And that's coming back to what I was saying at the start of the video here. Or the stream, sorry. I'm used to doing this on video. Where is Savinho? This is why I do this on video, by the way. So I can edit these moments out where I'm looking for plates for 20 minutes. I've got a plate short. Where is my extra midfielder? Oh no. Silva. Guys, I found my extra midfielder. Beerschot's doing about as well as we all thought they would. All I'm asking for is good football. Pep, please. I think you're asking the wrong person for good football, to be honest. So this is probably what we can expect to happen. So, and we'll talk about Gvardiol last, by the way, if you're wondering. Gvardiol is yellow because I'm not sure if he's fit or not. That's what yellow means. Red means injured, yellow means I'm not sure if you're fit, if you're wondering. So we'll talk about Guardiol last. He was in training though. I did see him in training on a picture, like in the background. So he was in training, so I think he will play. But we'll discuss some other options there afterwards. So what I'm hoping for pushing up here is that we get someone else up here, Marmouche should be on the left and Self on the right, is to get an extra midfielder and have a back three, just a back three for the counters. And that back three can transition into a back four. I don't want Guardiol to push up too much. And here's the thing, right? You would think Guardiol pushing up, okay, great. Guardiol pushes up, can help defend all of that, or can get back quickly to help defend, and is good attacking. But no, because here's the thing, right? And Pep won't do this, but here's the thing. If you push Guardiol up, let's say you do this. Guardiol pushes up and Gonzalez drops deep. Sure. Theoretically, on paper that works. Now you get a ball down the right, Gonzalez is not as fast as Guardiol. Guardiol is going to get into this area, but by the time he's there, we're looking at closest into the far post. So what I want is Guardiol to be in this area, to never go too far up the pitch, so he can use his pace to defend. And then Gonzalez can come from midfield, drop into a centre back position if necessary, and we can go into a nasty formation. We can go into a back five. Just on transition, get into a back five, get bodies back, and then transition from a back five into a back four, and then transition into a back three again when we win the ball back. And this is what I'm talking about. You have to transition between phases. And when you're getting countered, you just have to get bodies back. That means bodies into the box. I would prefer Kovacic over Silva, to be honest. I don't think Pep will play with Kovacic, but this is what I would prefer. Because then you could have some young players who can run back here. Foden is pretty quick. Salvinho is pretty quick. They can get back. They can form this shape when you're in transition. Because that's when we are most vulnerable. On transition. Get bodies in that box. Now when you're back in the box, and Bournemouth is not going quick again, they're just passing the ball around, that is when you can go back into your usual formation. So let's say Gonzalez pushes up here, you get back into a back four, and you form something like this basically, a 4-4-2 pretty much. Or a 4-4-1-1, I suppose. It depends on how you look at it, isn't it? It's either this or... It depends on how you look at it. I think Marmouche will be doing a bit more running than just a 4-4-2. But what I'm wondering here is, like... Because we have played in both this season, 4-1-1 when defending, and 4-4-2. When we play in 4-4-2, we usually try to get a ball into 4-4-1. We usually try to get a ball into Haaland. Haaland lays it off to the midfielder. So Foden, Marmouche, whoever is in midfield. Silva. And then we try to counter. Which we don't do a lot, but that's the idea. Or at least we try to get up the pitch. The problem is we have Ederson to do that with his distribution. Ederson, I think, is not playing this game, even if he's fit. So Ortega will we be playing those balls into Haaland and laying them off. If we are, they might not be as accurate. So maybe you would prefer a 4-4-2. Have these two a bit higher up the pitch. Try to both get onto those balls. Because Ortega's distribution, not as good. Not sure if that makes sense or not. It made more sense when I was thinking about it in my head. You know, like that sometimes. It makes more sense when you think about it in your head. But that's pretty much what I'm thinking about defensively. I think this Bournemouth team is very dangerous. They can score against us. Like, they've already proven that at the Vitality this season. They've proven they can score against us. But if we are compact in defending, and we just get bodies back when you defend. Because this is the thing that Pep does wrong sometimes, I think. Again, you have to look at it from Pep's perspective, his philosophy. His philosophy is, football is about spaces and controlling the spaces. So for that, correct formation is important. But I think sometimes when you get countered, get bodies back, get bodies into the box. If it's a back five, with two players ahead of it and other players trying to get it back, that's alright. Get bodies in the box, stop yourself from conceding on the far post. Because on that far post, we have been dangerously fragile. And By the way, I just saw Lucas in here. My apologies, I've been ignoring you. Sorry. Yeah, I've already read that actually. Bayern München, 3-2 on full time. Yeah, but just get bodies in the box. That's all I'm asking for. On the counter, don't worry about formation. Get bodies back in the box and keep Guardiola back a bit. Keep Guardiola back a bit. Because you know what the thing is, yeah? You know what the thing is? Guardiola can attack very well, but on the counter, it's always quick counters, and Guardiola has to stay back for those quick counters. That's my thing. Haaland will score, I think. This game, you have to think about it. We've been absolutely cooked before this season by Bournemouth. So there has to be somewhere, either because it's the FA Cup or because we've been cooked by them before, some reason why these players want to play. That's what I really want to believe. Today I'll watch along with Real Madrid later, indeed. Let's round up here on the Bournemouth preview, I suppose. So, we're almost at 30 minutes. That's actually pretty decent. I didn't think I'd get to 30 minutes with this preview. So, what I'm thinking here is a 2-1 for Man City. Because we can't keep clean sheets, let's be honest. I want us to defend a bit more. Like, I've been saying this for a long time now, haven't I? But I want us to defend a bit more. Attack, I'm not worried. If we have Foden on the left, Marmoush in middle, that has worked. Look at the Newcastle game. Foden was on the left, Marmoush in the middle, Foden went in midfield, Marmoush got space. And the half spaces. For Haaland's movement as well. That can work. I'm not worried about our attack. What I'm worried about is midfield and defense. And that puts pressure on our attack here. When our midfield doesn't work properly, when we have Bernardo Silva there rather than Kovacic or Gundogan, and it doesn't function properly, that's what I'm worried about in midfield. Because then our attack can't flow as freely as normal. So I think get the midfield correct, be a bit more defensive. Swallow your pride and be a bit more defensive, then we will have a good game. Then we will really have a good game. I did say we will talk about Guardiola at the end, so let's do that now. If we do not have Guardiola, one of three things will happen. Call me a genius if I get it right. Call me a genius if I get it right. Think about it. Think about it. Don't shoot the messenger. Think about it, guys. Grealish can invert. Pep Guardiola likes defenders who can invert. Think about it. Pep Guardiola likes fullbacks who can invert. He's good defensively. He's got a bit of an engine on him. Now he's not match fit, sure, but if Guardiola is unavailable, who is better? Who is better than Guardiola if he's unavailable? O'Reilly? Ake? I mean, Ake is injured, isn't he? I think Ake is injured. Man City injuries. Let's check that out. Ake, let's see here. Are you injured, brother? Yes, until the end of the season. So yeah, Ake is injured. So it won't be Ake. He needs to be in red. You're injured, bro. Get off the pitch. O'Reilly? Is Pep Guardiola gonna trust O'Reilly in this game? O'Reilly has played in the FA Cup before, but that's against second and third division teams. So I don't think Pep will play O'Reilly. So if you're logically thinking, again, this is all on the assumption Guardiola is not available, which we don't know. Grealish is the most likely option. And the second most likely is Victor Hayes. Because we all know Pep Guardiola likes centre backs in full back positions. Now, another thing I would not mind is... I say that, but... I mean, you can have this. I suppose. Because Grealish does invert, but like... Now you have two young defenders here. Guardiola better be fit, you know. Guardiola better be fit. Yeah, 2-1 is my prediction. 2-1 is my final prediction. If we can't win against Bournemouth in the FA Cup, if we can't get Wembley this season, we can't get fucking round of 16 in Champions League, then like, you know. We need to end the season strong here. After this after this international break, we need to end strong. So give us something to believe in, right? Give us something here to believe in. Right at the start of the final stretch of the season, give us a good game, give us something to believe in. That's it for me. 30 minutes is about what I was hoping for to get here, so I will actually redirect you guys over to whoever is live, I suppose. Not fast, he doesn't need my fucking... He doesn't need my viewers. There's no one live. I guess I'll redirect you guys to connect, so... Big up to all of you coming in here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.